Sometimes, when we face overwhelming challenges, it feels impossible to overcome them. Who hasn't asked themselves in a moment of despair, "What do I do now?" This story follows a man who never imagined how he would face his immense struggles. The only thing he was certain of was that he needed help. Samban, a young man from a rural village in Madagascar, was only 20 years old when he first noticed a swelling on his left cheek. At first, it seemed minor, but as the days passed, the swelling grew. Slowly, the tumor expanded, altering the shape of his face and forcing his head to tilt in the opposite direction to balance the weight. Over time, the massive growth began to take an unbearable toll on his body. His heart struggled to keep up with the strain, and the tumor's weight became a burden that he carried every single day. For nearly 36 years, the tumor consumed Samban's life. It grew to an unimaginable size, eventually weighing a staggering 7.4 kilograms, equivalent to 2 extra heads. His condition made even the simplest tasks exhausting. His body weakened, and his spirit suffered just as much. But the physical suffering was only part of his struggle. The emotional pain was equally devastating. Friends and family who once cared for him slowly began to distance themselves. People ridiculed him, mocked his condition, and avoided him as if his illness were contagious. The cruel words of strangers stung deeply. "Why are you still alive? No one can help you," they said. With every rejection, his hope withered. Despair became his closest companion. Determined to seek medical help, Samban embarked on a grueling journey, traveling hundreds of kilometers in search of treatment. He visited 10 hospitals, hoping that one of them would have the expertise to remove the tumor. Out of all those hospitals, only 3 had surgeons capable of performing complex procedures, but none could offer him a solution. He was repeatedly turned away. His financial situation made matters worse. Coming from a poor family, he couldn't afford specialized medical care. Eventually, he lost all hope. "I was just waiting to die," he admitted. "There was nothing else I could do. Every day felt like another step toward the end." His world became smaller and smaller, too weak to work, too weak to travel, too weak to even dream. He spent his days confined to his home. His only source of comfort was the sound of the radio, his connection to the outside world. Then, one day, that radio became his lifeline. A broadcast announced the arrival of a hospital ship that provided free medical treatments, including surgeries for people with severe tumors. A flicker of hope ignited in his heart. Despite his frail state, he made a decision that would change his life forever. "It's either die or survive. I want to go," he told his family. But reaching the hospital ship was no simple task. The nearest road was several days away, and the ship was located hundreds of kilometers from his village. Samban could barely walk across his own home. How could he possibly survive such a journey? His family recognized his determination and desperation. In an incredible act of sacrifice, they sold one of their rice fields to pay for the journey. 5 people, including his grandson, took turns carrying him on their backs for 3 exhausting days. When they finally reached a town with transportation, Samban endured a painful 6-hour journey by truck. But against all odds, he made it. Upon his arrival, doctors immediately recognized the severity of his condition. His surgery would be incredibly risky due to his weakened state and multiple health complications. For 2 weeks, he rested while the medical team assessed his case, carefully planning the best course of action. Then, he heard the words he had been longing for his entire life. "Yes, we will perform the surgery." For the first time in decades, hope was real. Samban understood the risks. "I know that without this surgery, I will die. I know I might die during the surgery, but inside, I already feel dead because of the way people treat me. I choose to take the chance." The surgery lasted over 12 hours, and the complexity of the procedure pushed the medical team to their limits. More than twice the volume of his body's blood was lost and had to be replaced. 17 people from 6 different countries donated their blood to keep him alive. The medical staff, the ship's crew, and over 400 people aboard the hospital ship worked together to save him. Every single person involved in his treatment was fully invested in his survival. Dr. Gary Parker, a maxillofacial surgeon with nearly 30 years of experience, stated, "This is one of the largest tumors of this kind that I have ever seen." The surgery was intense. Every minute carried the risk of massive blood loss or other complications that could end his life. But the team fought for him with unwavering determination. Then, after decades of suffering, Samban was finally free. The burden that had weighed him down for almost his entire life was gone. When he looked in the mirror for the first time after surgery, he couldn't believe his own reflection. "I'm free from my disease," he said, overwhelmed with emotion. "I have a new face. I'm saved." Dr. Parker summed up the significance of the operation. "I believe every human being has the right to look human, to be treated like a human, and to have a place at the table of humanity. When someone is deprived of that and then given the chance to re-enter society, it's a truly remarkable thing." When Samban returned home, his village could hardly believe their eyes. The man who had once carried a monstrous tumor was now completely transformed. Family members, neighbors, and friends who had once shunned him gathered to welcome him back. He was unrecognizable. No longer defined by his illness, he was now seen as the resilient man who fought for his life and won. This story is a testament to the power of hope, determination, and human kindness. It reminds us that even in our darkest moments, there is always a chance for a miracle. What do you think of Samban's incredible transformation? Let us know in the comments. And if this story inspired you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful stories of hope and resilience. Thank you, and see you in the next video.